Chapter 5 The Forest of the Blue Mists. The Forest of the Blue Mists loomed ahead, a vast expanse where the earth seemed to hold its breath. A creeping veil of fog, pale as moonlight and tinged with an unnatural azure, marked its borders. Ancient oaks stood as sentinels, their fissured bark and sprawling roots testament to their age. A dense canopy allowed only slivers of bruised sky to pierce through, casting the forest floor in perpetual twilight. Mist coiled about the underbrush like spectral fingers, clinging to the damp earth with an eerie sentience. The air was thick with the scent of moss, sodden leaves, and a faint, acrid tang, reminiscent of ancient blood seeped into the soil. Mushrooms clustered at the tree bases, their broad caps glowing with a sickly luminescence that flickered through the fog. Dark, sinewy vines wound about the trunks, pulsing faintly, their slick surfaces gleaming unnaturally in the dim light. The ground was treacherous, strewn with gnarled roots breaking through the earth like ancient bones. Sodden, blackened leaves muffle their steps, but missteps rippled dark pools in hollowed stumps. These glassy mirrors reflected twisted boughs, their shadows sometimes stretching too long or curling inward as if alive. As Talon and Cecil ventured deeper, the air hummed subtly, prickling their skin with an unnamed foreboding. Ahead, the king's eastern road stretched, a relic of prouder days, now cracked and overrun, its edges swallowed by possessive roots. Mist slithered across it, pooling in hollows. Talon Valenwood walked steadily, his green cloak tied against the chill, boots scuffing uneven stones. His father's raven-hilted sword hung at his hip, a cold comfort. Damp dark hair clung to his brow, and his sharp gray eyes scanned the shadows warily. Beside him, Cecil moved with a lighter step. His pack slung across his narrow shoulders, bulged with maps, provisions, and the tome he could not bear to leave behind. His face, softer and rounder than Talon's, was alight with a boyish curiosity that belied the forest's weight, his hazel eyes tracing the contours of the trees as if they whispered secrets meant for him alone. The mist seemed to dance about him, swirling and recoiling as though uncertain of his presence, a strange grace that Talon noted but did not remark upon. A distant howl pierced the stillness, rich and heavy, almost human in its anguish. Cecil shivered, clutching his cloak, while Talon gripped his sword tighter. Their father's words echoed. This forest is not mere nature, but a place of power old and deep. The trees loomed closer, their gnarled limbs like skeletal hands, bark etched with grooves resembling silent screams. Each step felt heavier, as if the mist sought to drag them down. The silence was unnatural, profound. No birds sang, no creatures rustled. The forest held its breath. Only the wind sighed through the branches, like ghostly fingers through hair. Talon felt a weight on his chest, a sense of trespassing where they were not welcome. Breaking the silence, Cecil's grin flashed like sunlight through the fog. Do you recall when Roy would spar with us in the yard? He'd let me win every bout, guiding my wooden sword as if I were a master. Talon snorted, a puff of breath visible in the chill air. He let you win, but with me he'd parry and thrust until I earned every strike. Said it'd make me strong. Stronger than him, maybe, Cecil teased, his eyes glinting with mischief. He'd laugh when you'd stumble, then hoist you up with that grin of his. And then he'd thrash me twice as hard the next round, Talon replied, his voice warming with a memory. He was always the better swordsman, still is, I wager. Their laughter, soft but true, rippled through the stillness, a fleeting shield against the forest's weight. For a moment, the past was a bomb, a tether to days when the world was smaller. Ravenhall's walls their horizon, Roy's booming voice their guide. But the mirth faded as swiftly as it came, swallowed by the mist that pressed ever closer. At a bend in the road, where the path dipped into a hollow ring by ancient oaks, they saw him. An old man sat upon a moss-cloaked log, his presence abrupt and striking. Smoke curled from a pipe between his teeth, its sharp, otherworldly scent hinting at rare herbs. His tattered wool cloak, once rich brown, bore faded runes along its frayed hem. A cracked leather hat drooped over his brow, and his gray robes, threaded with dulled golden spirals, spoke of ancient craft. His gnarled hands, adorned with rings of bronze, silver, and black iron with a pulsing gem, gripped a staff carved with whorls, topped by a glowing blue crystal. His silver beard, singed at the ends, spilled down his chest. An aura surrounded him, parting the mist, as if the forest acknowledged a presence older than itself. Greetings to you, wayfarers, he rasped, his voice dry yet resonant with power. The smoke thickened, tendrils dancing with the mist. Talon halted, instincts flaring. He kept his hand near his sword. "Well met," he said curtly, inclining his head. "But we must press on." Cecil stepped forward, curiosity alight. "Hello, sir." "I'm Cecil." The old man exhaled smoke, eyes glinting beneath his hat. "I am Wally," he said, the name heavy with meaning. Something of a wizard, perchance, or a procurer of magics lost to time. Talon's grip tightened, leather creaking. "A pleasure, Wally, but our road is long, and we've no time to waste." Wally waved a hand languidly. Always rushing, always hastening. The young are ever thus. "But tell me, lads, have you marked aught unusual in these woods of late?" Talon stiffened, jaw clenching. "Unusual how?" Wally's gaze sharpened. "Dark spirits abroad. Strange stirrings in the deep places. More than the petty meddling of kings and their greed." Cecil's ears pricked. "Meddling, you say? Of the royal sort?" Talon shot him a glare, but Cecil continued. Wally leaned forward, staff tapping the earth. "King Tybalt and his grasping lords have plundered these woods. Redwood felled without right, mithril torn from enchanted groves. The land suffers for it, and the old powers grow restless. But that's not my meaning. Tell me true, have you glimpsed a dragon's shadow? Or met another clad as I am, bearing the marks of hidden craft?" Cecil frowned. "No dragons, nor wizards neither. Father keeps us close to Ravenhall, says the woods are no place for wandering." Wally's eyebrow arched. "And what trade does your father ply, that he bids you stay so near?" Talon forced a smile. "A butcher, sir. Best ribs in Ravenhall, smoked and spiced to perfection. You be welcome to sup with us, should you pass our way." Cecil blinked. "But..." Talon's glare silenced him. Wally chuckled a dry rumble. "A butcher, is it? Queer, then, how you bear yourselves, lordlings in all but name, I'd wager." Talon's stomach lurched, face masked. Cecil swallowed hard. "Can wizards read minds?" Cecil blurted. Wally grinned, teeth stained. "Only when folk are wretched liars, lad." The mist thickened, and Talon felt Wally's piercing scrutiny. "We must be off," he said firmly, stepping back. "Safe travels to you." Wally inclined his head, his staff's crystal pulsing. "I travel safe. But mark this, Sons of the Raven, the forest watches, and it remembers. You'll not pass its heart unscathed." Talon pulled Cecil along, the road vanishing into swirling blue. Silence lingered until Cecil spoke, small and uncertain. "Talon." "What?" he grumbled, hand near his sword. "Why'd he call us lordlings if you said we were butcher's sons?" Talon's grip tightened, eyes ahead. "I don't know," he muttered. "But he's no simple wanderer." Cecil glanced back. The log lost a fog. "He seemed interested in us, like he wanted something." Talon agreed, voice low. "And that's what worries me." Hours bled together, the sun hidden by cloud and mist. Cecil traced his map earlier, murmuring, "The bend's marked here. We should have seen it." Talon had dismissed it. "It'll come." Mist plays tricks on the eye, but the road stayed straight, doubt gnawing at him. Cecil chattered. The blue mists weren't always thus. Old scrolls say the mist rises from ruins, wells of stone that weep. Some call it magic, others a curse. Talon exhaled sharply. "Cecil, must you prattle so?" Cecil continued. "Villages once stood here, then vanished. No bones, just gone." The mist rolled out after. Talon shook off a chill. "That's no proof it'll take us." Cecil's gaze sharpened. "Yet," Talon sighed. "Must you voice every dark thought in that head of yours?" "You know I talk when I'm nervous," Cecil muttered, checking his map. "This place is perilous. Folk wander and never return, trapped in circles. The mist bends light, shifts distances." Talon slowed. "Wait, what?" Cecil tapped the map. "The road curves south past the third oak hollow. We've passed 5, and it's still straight." Talon squinted ahead, the path unyielding. "It's the mist," he said, unconvinced. "We'll see the bend soon." Cecil tucked the map away. "I hope so." Tales speak of whispers in the mist, voices, not just shadows. Talon glared. "Enough, Cecil. I only mean we should." Talon grabbed his arm, tensing. Cecil whispered, "What?" "Something's watching us," Talon said, scanning the trees. The silence was suffocating. No birds, no insects. A rustling came from the left, deliberate. Talon half drew his sword. Cecil fumbled for his dirk. The rustling stopped, silence returning. Cecil swallowed. That was. A knock echoed, slow, resonant. Sioke, Sioke, Sioke. It bounced through the trees, direction lost in the fog. Cecil shivered. That wasn't a branch. Talon nodded, sword drawn. A whisper threaded through the mist, too faint to discern, coiling around them. Keep moving. Talon growled, stomach twisting. They hastened, boots hitting earth instead of stone. The road should have curved, but it didn't. Cecil stopped pale. Talon. The road was gone. No stones, just mist and trees like pillars of a forsaken hall. Cecil spun, breathless. We didn't stray. The path was here, I swear it. Talon gripped his sword, panic rising. The mist thickened, whispering, Talon. Cecil. He shook it off, but the voices persisted. A shadow stood between two oaks, tall and still. Cecil clutched Talon's sleeve, gasping. The mist swirled, and it vanished. More shadows flickered, tall, thin, fleeting, mocking his senses. Figures moved through the trees, slow and measured. Cecil shut his eyes. This isn't real. This isn't real. Talon wasn't sure, his eyes shifting in all directions. The air chilled, mist pressing like a shroud. A hollow breath stirred their necks. They whirled, swords trembling, nothing but trees and mist. The ground tilted, sending Cecil stumbling. Talon steadied him. The earth felt spongy. Trees loomed, branches curling, bark pulsing with blue light. Mist rose to their waists, shimmering with silver flecks. Voices swelled. They would join us, clawing at their minds. Shadows wove boldly, one nearing, a robed figure, face void, hand skeletal. Talon's sword passed through it. It reformed, joined by dozens encircling them. Cecil cried out, dropping his dirk in terror, and covered his eyes. Talon, make it stop. Talon hauled him up, trying to figure out where to swing his sword. Stay with me. The mist bore down, ground lurching. Trees swayed, roots snaring their boots. The air thrummed with malice, shadows closing in, whispering, blood of Valinor. The mist's claim, you are ours.